People talk about the Hormuz Strait on the internet every day, but do you know what the Hormuz Strait looks like? Today, let's talk about it without talking about it. Let's talk about it in a video. How did Iran use the wisdom of the earth snake to press the dragon on the ground, to rub it? The Hormuz Strait connects the Persian Gulf and the Arabian Sea. It is the most core of oil transportation in the Middle East region. It is also the most dependent sea channel, such as Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates, of course. It also includes Iran, more than 90% of the crude oil of these oil-producing countries. It's going to be transported from here. During the peace period, there will be nearly 200 huge ferries every day passing through this narrow channel. About 20 million tons of crude oil are transported. It's going to be transported out of here during the peace period. There are nearly 200 giant ferries every day passing through this narrow passage. About 20 million tons of oil were transported, 20% of global oil consumption. So the Hormuz Strait also got a domineering title. It's called the World Oil Faction, just like a water dragon, as long as it's tight. These oil can only be moved in the Middle East. That's why Iran can. The reason for the world's involvement. These oil can only be used in the Middle East. This is also why Iran can be a world leader. The Hormuz Strait is 150 kilometers long. The widest is 97 kilometers. The narrowest is only 33 kilometers. Do you think that ships can be opened in the strait? Where do you want to go wrong? The inner part of the Hormuz Strait is densely gulfed. The depth of the sea is less than 25 meters. Large cruise ships are more likely to sink or touch the water, and if they are not careful, they will cut off or touch the water. So the International Maritime Organization has devised a strict traffic separation plan. Two single main routes are drawn in the middle of the strait. One is in the Bosphorus Bay, and the other is out of the Bosphorus Bay. Each route is 3 kilometers wide, and there's 3-kilometer isolation belt between the two routes. Imagine a giant cruise ship, hundreds of meters long, in a 3-wide runway, about 15 to 20 knots. That's about 28 to 37 kilometers per hour of speed. No over-traveling speed change or random change after all. The width of the passage is only 3 km. So these ferries are no different from the oxen in the eyes of Iran. They can fight whichever they want. What's more, the control of these two routes is completely different. The northern coast of the sea is long along the coastline. The military power is dense. The northern coast is also controlled by 3 key islands: Gassamot, Hormuz Island, and Abu Musa Island. Among the main islands of Abu Musa Island, there is controversy, but it is still controlled by Iran. This is equivalent to a machine gun on the roadside. The north half of the line south, it is a remote territory near the Arman Strait. It's called Musang Damas. There are no people here there. There's no army either. Iran just needs to keep an eye on these 2-3 kilometers wide, the sea highway. It's no use if the king of heaven comes. Okay, that's the geography. Let's take a look at Iran's specific tactics facing the world's strongest navy. Iran chose a very smart one. Non-diagonal battles spend the least money on the biggest thing. The first move is the water mine. Guess how much a water grenade is worth? Cheap thousands of dollars. Even the most advanced intelligent water grenade is tens of thousands of dollars. And Iran has at least 5,000 to 6,000 of all kinds of water grenades. Some are floating on the water, some are sinking in the sea, and some can automatically identify warships. In 1988, an American escort hit by a UAV in Iran. The ship was blown up by a 3-meter-long big hole and towed back to the port for a whole year and cost $100 million, far more than the cost of a UAV in Iran. More importantly, a UAV does not need a large warship at all. Several fast ships and several unmanned cruise ships sneak out at night. Just throw a few of them on the 2-3 kilometer wide airstrip. Just throw a few, even if you can't blow up the ship, as long as there's thunder. The cruise ship doesn't dare to come. The insurance company's insurance fees will also rise dozens of times in an instant. The ship owners are not much to lose when they're counting the money. Who dares to open it? So the ship owners would rather put the cruise ship at the port. I don't dare to bet my life on it. This is the function of the blockade. I can't move without my hands. Even if the US military sends warships to escort the ship owners, still dare not take this risk. After all, once it's blown up, the loss is the oil and the ship itself. The second move is the missile and the drone. If the water is a cloud, the missile and the drone are the brand name. Iran deployed more than 2,000 anti-ship missiles in the northern part of the Hormuz Strait. The range of these missiles completely covers the entire sea. Both cruise ships and US warships are within the range of attack. But what makes the US military headache is not the number of missiles, but their deployment. Most of these missile sites are hidden in mountain caves and underground reinforced structures. It's hard to find a satellite, and even if you blow up 100 of them to make sure there's nothing else, Iran is full of mountains and missile sites are scattered and can't be destroyed at all. The United States and Israel have been blowing up Iranian military facilities these years, but as long as it's not blown up, it's not going to be able to hit the Hormuz Strait. But as long as it's not blown clean, it can't hit the Hormuz Strait, because the missile is only a few kilometers from the Iranian coast to the runway. The US military's Jostun radar is turned on and off, launching an interceptor missile. This process is all blown up. Let's talk about drones. Iran has thousands of suicide drones. The cost is only a few $1,000s a family, and the US military wants to intercept a standard 2 anti-aircraft missiles for millions of dollars. Let's do a math. Iran launched 10 drones for less than $50,000. The US military has to stop all of them, and the missiles will cost tens of millions of dollars. What is this called? This is the cost advantage of the pressure to stop you. It's going to be beautiful. This is a typical non-contact battle for a long time to go down. The US military can't handle this kind of consumption. Maybe some of you will ask, the US military is so strong that it's okay to fight Iran directly. It's not that you can't fight it. It's that you can't solve the problem. It's going to burn you down. Let's look back at history. In 1987 to 1988, the two sides of the war ended, and the US military fought against Iran in the Hormuz Strait. It's called the Tang Lang Operation. The US military dispatched aircraft carriers and destroyers, destroying most of the Iranian naval power. But the result? Iran turned around and used fast ships and water mines to set up a guerrilla war in the strait. The US military could not completely control the strait. The war is over. The US military retreated. Iran slowly regained its strength, so the US military withdrew, and Iran slowly regained its strength. So the US military's current strategy is not to fight Iran on the ground, but to use economic sanctions, military deterrence, intelligence war, slowly consume Iran. But this strategy has a big effect on the Hormuz Strait, because they have a bigger base in their hands. Once the seal of the strait is closed, global oil prices are rising. The US inflation is out of control. The international economy will be affected. The allies are falling. This is what the United States is most afraid of. So look at the US military power. It's a little bit of a disaster in the Hormuz Strait. It's not that there aren't enough aircraft carriers. It's not that the planes are not advanced enough. It's Iran using geographical advantages, and flying saucers turned himself into a thorn. This is the game rules of the Hormuz Strait. Whoever controls these 2-3 kilometers wide routes will be the one to hold the door of global oil, and Iran is exactly the gatekeeper and has taken over the world.